What's up, everyone? Boston John here. Uh, I'm just recording this video to not really in response, but just to put it out there. This is for me. All right. Mandee Hops, Amanda Lanham. I love her. I'm in love with her. Crazy about her. She she's got some. Everybody has problems. She's got some real fucking problems. She really does. And every day, pretty much every single day, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be better. I love you. Can't wait to marry you. I'm trying to be better about this, better about that. And then she goes on YouTube and she records these videos and she goes live, and she's lying. Yeah, we got into it. Okay, and she's saying, no, we weren't fighting. I didn't do anything. Yeah, she did. It started off, well, it's fucking, what, like 2 in the morning almost. But yesterday morning, she wakes me up and she's like, well, let's go to the food pantry. Will you ride with me to the food pantry? And I'm like, sure. Before I go to work, I'll ride with you to the food pantry. And we took a shot and we went to the food pantry. And on the way there, she didn't know where she was going. She was a little lit. She wasn't like fucked up like stumbling, but she was definitely in a zone. And she wasn't driving that well, so I got a little upset about it. I'm like, look, just fucking focus on driving right now, please, because you're gonna end up killing the both of us. And it's just stupid. Let's just get there. I know where we're going. You said we're going to this place. I know where it's at. I've been there before. We finally get there, and when we get there, they told her that she needed a piece of mail to confirm her address. And when the guy said that to her, the security guy, she goes, "What the fuck, man? I'm fucking broke as shit. I'm just hungry. This is bullshit. Nobody fucking told." And she like cussed this guy out. And of course, they've dealt with some shit at places like that. He's just kind of like, and he looks at me, and I'm like, just, dude, I know. Just let it go. So we go back to the car, and she finds a piece of mail. She brings the mail in. She's in a better mood. She's like, hey, well, I found a piece of mail. He's like, all right, cool. We're here. Here's the clipboard. Fill this out. So she fills it out, and we're looking at a baby right there that this lady's holding. And she's like, oh, that baby's so cute. And she's in a pleasant mode. And she got to it better from being very, like, aggressive and rude and just, like, out of nowhere cussing at some stranger to a better mood. Then we get to the window, and the girl behind the desk, behind the window, says, well, do you have any mail more recent? And she does it again. She calls it popping off, right? So she pops off again. She's like, look, this is bullshit. Nobody fucking told me that I needed a piece of mail. My fucking address is on there. I've lived there for 5 fucking years. This is bullshit. And she slams her wallet down next to her purse when I'm sitting at the window. She goes, I'll go back to my car. Hold my spot. She goes back to the car. She comes back and she found something that was more recent. And so then the girl asked me when she was gone. She was like, is everything okay? I was like, yeah, we're just going through a hard time. Obviously, that's why we're here. So sorry, just bear with us. And she gets back in. She goes to the window with a more current piece of mail. And she did apologize. She goes, look, young lady, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't mean to be rude to you or curse at you. I'm just really stressed out. And the girl's like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. And then she gives her the slip. She checks her and she gives her the slip. We go get the food. We take it out to the car. And of course, she likes homeless people. Like she likes to help homeless people out. It's very endearing, and I love it. But she was obviously a bit drinking, and she had something going on. So I'm like, look, stop talking to everybody out here. Let's just get in the car, take the food back to the house, sort through it. I'm trying to go to work. Like this is just taking way too long, and you're freaking out. She starts crying. We get back to the house. We unload the food. She gave some to a neighbor that I took across the street and put in front of their door. And then we gave some of the food to the construction workers, some guys, or a guy and a girl that were doing some work, some underground work. So we go through this whole thing, and it's not a big deal. But this is actually on the way because she wanted to go to the liquor store to get more food. And she already pissed off the people at the liquor store she shops at that she used to work at. So I was like, well, let's not go there. Let's just go to the grocery store. It's actually cheaper. It's closer. And she's like, that's a good idea. I don't need to go in there and pop off on anybody and da da da. So we go to the grocery store. She's trying to give away fruit and food, and she just, again, she's buzzed. So she's trying to talk to everybody, and I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, look, stop, just set it down. Nobody, like, she's just hitting everybody, going back and forth. I'm like, look, honey, just put it down. Just go into the store, get what you need to get back to the house. I need to get to work, and you need to be at home. You don't need to be out in public like this right now, and you really don't need to be driving. So we get back to the house after that. We have a couple drinks. I was about to leave, but then she was kind of freaking out a little bit. We kind of yelled at each other for a second. Then I sat on the sofa. I just listened to her. She just yelled and yelled. Then she goes to the bedroom. She slams the door. And I give it a few minutes. And I open the door. And she screamed my name. Boston, Boston, where are you? Boston. And I open the door. Her phone alarm was going off. And she's like, turn that fucking thing off. And she had dragged shit off of her dresser onto the floor. The phone's there. So I turn the alarm off. I put her phone back on the charger. I pick up the stuff off the floor. She passes back out in the bed. I put a blanket over her. I go sit on the sofa, and I told my boy, I was like, look, man, what are you trying to do today? And he's like, well, there's a lot of people out here, but, and I was like, all right, well, I got something to take care of, man. I said, I'm going to go out work tonight. I got some paperwork that I can work with tonight, whatever. I'll definitely be in tomorrow, but I got to, might be a little bit of a mess I need to clean up. So she passes out for a couple hours. She wakes up, and she's in a decent mood. And of course, more drinks. So she's like, pour me a shot. I pour her a shot. She's like, you're not going to take one? I said, sure, why not, So I take a shot with her. She calls her sister. And she's talking to her sister, and it was a conversation that went left real fast. Because something had happened at her sister's place with some crazy dude that they were supposed to commission to do a job at the house, and the dude wrecked his car or something, and her sister's husband pretty much told the guy, get the fuck off my property or I'll fuck you up type shit. I'm not going to give the details because it ain't my business. So this conversation's going on. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's, oh man, it's fucked up. It's great though. You guys are okay. Everything's good. So then the conversation takes a major turn. And it turns into where she said, well, I'm going to stay at you guys' house one night while I'm in town. You don't know it yet, but I'm going to. And they're like, and her sister's husband's like, look, what I'm going to do, there's a hotel right down the street from our house. They have a bar downstairs. It's nice. Like, there's no need to sleep on our sofa. It's uncomfortable. We have a small house. This is the conversation that I overhear over speakerphone. We have a small house. We get up ass early in the morning. We work out. We do our thing. They're pretty much. He said, "Look, I'll pay for you to have the hotel room. Like, you come over. We'll make some badass barbecue. We'll cook dinner. We'll hang out all night. But you're not going to stay here. I'll put you up in the place right down the street from our house." And she took offense to that, which I get. I mean, at first I would have been like, "Well, do you want me to stay there?" But they were trying to be real cool about it. And then she went haywire on him, and then they went haywire back, and it turned into this whole thing. And I tried to diffuse it. I took the phone. I said, "Look, I'm into this conversation right now. We'll call you guys back later. This is getting too wild." She's been on one since this morning. She's been cussing random people out and shit. It's just getting ridiculous. Even her mother, she told her mother about it. Her mother was texting her saying, look, it's fucked up that you did that. These people who are working at the charity places are there to help people. They're not there to make money. They're there to help people that need help, that need assistance or whatever. And then she gets into it with her sister and her sister's husband over the phone. And then she chills out a little bit. She comes in and she's crying. We lay in bed. She's crying into my shoulder. And I hold her and I rub her back and I'm telling her, look, it's going to be all right. You just need to sleep this off. Okay, you just need to sleep it off. Just take it easy, sleep it off. So everything's pretty chill. I get her some ice water, get her the blanket again, get her an extra pillow. She's cool. She wakes up again. She comes out and she's in a halfway mood. And she's trying to talk to me about something and I'm kind of nodding off because I'm tired. Because I stayed awake to make sure because she started to kill herself. Saying she doesn't want to live, she don't want to do shit, and da da da. And I'm like, man, look, now I don't feel comfortable leaving. Like I work for commission, and I could work all day. I can roam. I can get money. It's not a big deal. But I didn't feel comfortable leaving her alone in the state she was in because I've done it before, and when I left, it turned into don't come back, or she disappears, and then next thing you know, she's lost her car, her phone, she's cut her wrist. I mean, all kinds of crazy shit's going on with that. So I said, look, and I started crying. When she woke up and she was somewhat coherent. She was coherent. And I'm crying. And she's like, why are you upset? Why are you crying? I was like, look, I don't like seeing you like this. Like, I don't trust you to be by yourself right now. Because we've been down this road before, and I'm not going through this again. I don't want you to hurt yourself, because when you hurt yourself, it hurts me. It hurts people around you. And she was receptive, and we hugged, and gave a couple little smooches, and everything was fine. And then she goes back to sleep. Well, she did get a little mouthy, and I was like, "Look, don't stop, please." And I begged her. I'm like, "Please stop, please just stop. You've been drinking. You're tired. You've had a couple of days. You're stressed out. I get it, babe. I'm here for you. But stop. Like, your fight is not with me. Please stop." And Rumpelstiltskin was supposed to be a safety word, but she started freaking out. Rumpelstiltskin. Nobody ever fucking says Rumpelstiltskin on a regular basis. So when you hear Rumpelstiltskin, you're supposed to be like, you're supposed to snap in. Oh shit. Okay. That didn't happen. She just got weird on me, and then she went back to bed. And so I left the door open, and I hear her snore. I mean, she's sawing logs. I'm like, all right, cool. So I get another ice water, make sure she's breathing and she's all right, and she's out cold. And I'm like, all right. So I watch a couple videos, make sure she's all right. And then I'm tired. I was like, fuck it. So I lay down on the sofa. I turn all the lights out. I go to sleep. I'm sleeping on the sofa. I'm awoken when she had hit me in the leg first. And I have a big ass lump. I'm not going to pull my pants down and take a picture of it and show people and ask for sympathy. There's a security bar she keeps in her door at her place. And she whacked me in the leg with it. And it woke me up, and I look up, and then she hit me in the side of the head. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And I pop up, and I grab her arm, and I get the bar out of her hand, and I toss it across the room. And then I turned her around, and I pushed her down to the sofa. I didn't like throw her. I pushed her down to the sofa. I'm like, look, stop. Please stop. Like, how many times do I have to say stop? Does somebody have to say stop? Please stop before you realize stop. Like, you're fucking crazy right now. I didn't say that because that would just set it off even more. So this just transpired into more and more. And she said, "You fucking pussy, and you're a fucking piece of shit. Fuck you, bitch ass nigga," and all this crazy shit. And I'm just like, look, shut the fuck up. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Just please go to sleep. So then she comes after me again. She tries to grab my neck. She slaps me. It fucking threw something at me. I forget what the hell she threw at me now. I think it was like fucking, it was like a little, it was something wrapped in plastic. It wouldn't hurt. She winged it too. She whipped it like a fucking sidearm pitcher in Major League Baseball. And I'm like, this shit's getting old. So, and then I'm trying to leave. And I have my backpack on. She's grabbing the straps. She's pulling me back. She tries to headbutt me, which she's done before. And I'm like, you need to fucking knock this off. Like, get the fuck off. I'm leaving. Get the fuck off. She's like, you're not going nowhere. Fuck you. I said, fine. So I take her keys and I take her phones, and I did hide them, and I go lay in bed. And I said, just come lay in bed. No, she doesn't do that. She comes, she walks on the bed as I'm laying there, and she stands over me and she bucks her hand back. And I'm like, fuck, here we go again. So she tried that, and I got her wrist, and I pulled her down to the bed, and I held her down for a minute, and she's screaming like, I hate you, I hate my life, I just want to die. Reasons I wasn't going to leave. I'm like, baby, just please, I love you. I love you. Please stop. I love you. Please stop. Of course, she just keeps going and going and going. And she keeps trying to push me. She punched me in the chest. And yes, I pushed her on the bed a couple times when she was, and I wouldn't let her leave. I'm like, no, you're not driving. You're in no state to go anywhere right now. You shouldn't even be out of bed right now. She threatened to kick me out because I wouldn't give her the vodka. I mean, it's just, it's not funny. I laugh because it's bad, man. It's bad. And she calls her parents and she's doing all this bullshit. And I'm like, look, you need to stop. She calls her mom, like, call 911. And she's laying on the bed. I'm at the edge of the bed. She's on the bed. And she calls her mother, and she screams and talks to her mother, speaking to her as if I'm on top of her beating her. I didn't hit her. I grabbed her arm. I twisted her arm when she had the fucking mace. I took the mace out of her hand, threw it in the toilet. I got the bar out of her hand. And yes, I pushed her onto the sofa and I pushed her onto the bed a couple times. I'm trying to get her to chill out. She just keeps going and going and going. I try to leave. She grabbed my backpack. She's slapping. It's like, just stop. Just stop. Men my size don't even fucking move me like that. Like, don't come at me like that. Like, you're out of your mind right now. I finally get out of the house. And of course, she locks the door. And then I go down to the bus stop. And I start thinking about it. Something came over me. I'm like, dude, just go back to the house and just make sure she's okay. Make sure she's not driving. So I go back to the house. She's not, and then I call her. She's like, don't ever call me again. I fucking hate you. I'm like, yeah, I get that. And I knock on the door. She comes to the door, and I said, have you calmed down yet? And again, she blah 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? Because the slide door opened just a touch. I opened it just a touch because the bars there. I wasn't trying to get in or jack the door. And then she's like, oh my God. And she tried to poke me in the eye through the fucking little crack. I'm like, look, this is fucking, you know what, fuck it, I'm done. I'm fucking done. And I just, so I hit up a couple of my boys. I'm like, look, man, I'm gonna pull all nighter and just walk around and fucking get this energy out. But, I guess this is that. So they peeked at her video and they're like, yeah, she's live right now. I said, I knew she could do that. She does it every time. I don't know what happened to her fucking, I think her nose ring hit her here when dude, I didn't hit her. I told you exactly what I did. I didn't hit her. I didn't put hands on her. She whacked me with the fucking bar. She tried to mace me. The other night I'm sleeping. She's all fucking drunk in the middle of the night. She gets up to take shots like all day, all night. And she has a fucking knife to my neck, threatening to stab me. And that's when I grabbed the fucking blade and got this and a little scrape right here where I grabbed the blade to get out of her hand. She recorded a video about that too. And she's threatening to go fuck the other dude again and talk. And I'm like, look, just fuck it. I'm done. Like this has just been going on. I can't help her. I'm not a professional therapist or psychologist or shrink or none of that. I don't. I've tried everything. I tried the sober thing with her. She made it a few days, pretty well, almost a week, and then went right back into it. And when she said she hadn't used drugs in 5 months, well, she told me a different story. When I was in jail, she said she went to the movies with this chick she worked with at the time, and they did a little bit of blow. If you don't know what blow is, it's cocaine. She's doing some cocaine with this chick. So she hadn't been clean for 5 months. She went out and got high with one of the homeless dudes. She went and asked him, you got any meth? And he's like, really? I didn't think you would be. Yeah. And then she got mad at me because I wouldn't say hi to the guy. I said, no, he got you high while I was in jail. And you told me that she got high with the guy that she was working with that she paying. She told me, is she telling me the truth or is she telling you guys the truth? That's my question. But I'm not doing it. I mean, I can't even be a friend. Man. This is just, when you have me, keep in mind, I used to be a bouncer. I used to fucking thug out. I used to do all kinds of crazy shit. I'm not. If I wanted to hurt her, she would be hurt. Like it would just be in her elbow. That's where she tried to fucking do something, and her elbow hit the wall. There's a little dent in her fucking wall now, which she's not going to ever tell you guys. But anyway, man, she's got a lot of problems. I love her to death. Obviously, I can't help her. She doesn't want help. Her life is social media because you guys got her all gassed up on whatever the fuck it is, and that's all she talks about. Everybody on YouTube says this and says that. So everyone on YouTube doesn't see this part of you. All they know is what you tell them. They don't, and I have videos, and I'm not going to embarrass her like that because it's fucking, that's just you though. But they don't see this side of you when you're all crazy and your eyes are like this, and you're threatening to kill me, and you're threatening to go fuck somebody else, and you're threatening to stab me in my sleep, and you actually put a knife to me in my sleep, hit me with the bar in my sleep. I mean, it's just, she needs help. She needs a lot of help. If you guys actually give a shit and care about her, you're either going to get her to get help or you're going to tell her to get help. You're going to stop sympathizing with her and enabling her, making her think she's an actual victim. She's not. She's she's got problems. She's got chemical imbalance. She's a sociopath. And I'm not trying to badmouth her. This is real. This is my experience. She's bipolar. She's sociopath. She's a violent alcoholic. She 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 talks about how the people she works with does meth, but she doesn't do it. But I'm like, dude, this behavior you're doing, this ain't just alcohol. I've known you for over a year. I've seen you at your worst, and I've seen you at your best, and I've seen you when you're high, and I've seen you when you're not. I've seen you when you're drunk, I've seen you when you're not. This ain't just vodka and fucking whole life. This is more. No, I'm good. and it's just too much. It's too much. There's nothing I can do. You know, she complains about money all the time, but she goes out and spends money on stupid shit. And then fucking, she's like, well, I need a jug. So when I get off work, I got to stop and get alcohol for her. And yes, I have some drinks with her, no doubt. Yeah, I have a few drinks. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I just want people to know the truth. The truth is, no, I didn't beat her up. I didn't beat the shit out of her. I defended myself and I restrained her a little bit, and then I left. And when I tried to leave, she tried to stop me from leaving. And she had all these crazy threats. Mandy, I love you. I'm gonna miss you. I really hope you get help. I really hope you figure out whatever it is you need to figure out. But you need help, and I'm not the one. I can't do it. I just can't do it. So, to all you guys that love Mandee Hops and have your opinion about me from what she tells you, deuces or fuck you. I don't care. If you really care about her and you're not just a little fucking keyboard commandos, get her to get help. She needs professional help for real. Love you. I'm not going through this again. I'm not going to end up in jail for 4 months. You can go bang another guy and then threaten me with the other guy and put knives in my neck and shit. You swore you changed. You swore you would never do it again. And yeah, you did it again. So a few times in the past week. It's been one of those weeks. So, nevertheless, safe travels. Hope everything goes well in St. Louis. Hope you actually go to St. Louis. I hope you figure out whatever it is you need to figure out. I wish you the best.